Wait. Okay. Everybody has the fucking friends that never want to talk about the goals, and they never want to talk about the shit, and they never want to talk about good quality things. They always want to bitch and complain and do the Barstool Warrior thing. The intent of all of this is just a room full of dudes who don't suck a bucket of buttholes, who want to talk about how cool life is. No matter how bad it might be, it's still awesome to have one. And how much further we can go with the harder we're intending to apply the shit that we do. You know what I mean? We don't need to do this social media fucking like short form. We don't need to create a persona. We actually need to have a conversation with people that aren't a nightmare to be around and try to, shoot me a DM. I'm over that shit.
Well, and honestly, dude, just by having the conversation and being our authentic self and just talking like we are, knowing the experiences we've been through, knowing the things we've been through, what we can accomplish, what we can help people with, we don't really have to put a mark on an avatar or specific customer persona. Yeah. Because we can do everything. And if that one journal comes in, even if it's somebody who just wants branding, somebody who just wants a logo, somebody just wants marketing, if someone just wants a business plan, it's like we can do all of it. And most of our content is going to be wrapped around those pillars anyways. It's not like, well, we have 4 fundamental pillars and one is going to do this. Like, no, they're going to listen. They're going to be like, that's what I need help with. We're going to get on the phone and we're going to sell them what they actually need and what we think they want.
Well, yeah, and I think YouTube itself is kind of the anti-social media in a sense, because not only do we not have to speak directly to an ideal avatar, but if you hang out for a full hour and I don't accidentally say something that offends you, guess what? You're it.
Hopefully I do the talking that episode.
That's going to be most of the episode. We're going to have to find.
Wait, that guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, but the other guy's pretty smart at what he says. We're going to get the mix.
One of the descriptions I put together was, this is the Letter Rip podcast hosted by Mike and Jake from the Force of Focus. Jake was the front man for the band Mantis, and Mike is his dipshit jabroni best friend who so happens to somehow manage to do cool shit too. That's fucking accurate. I still executed a high level some fucking how.
I mean, you are successful.
I am, and I think it's because I give very little fucks about anything to such a degree that it pans out really well. I don't have a I don't give a fuck angst. I have an I don't give a fuck about your opinion or the excuses or the fear. I just kind of go balls in, and it always seems to work out really well for me.
Wait, do you say when you go balls in, it works out for you?
Balls in, yeah.
Figuratively speaking?
Well, it depends upon what it is I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. On other news, have you heard of the band Landmarks?
Nope.
I believe that's how they say it. They're like a newer, kind of like metalcore. But I just found out that they're foreign, and I don't know. I'm going to look it up. Literally, this is from Hellfest 2024, and they just come out ripping. The dude just starts rapping in some foreign language. It may be Swiss. I'm going to Google it. Okay. But it's spelt, they do it like kind of like the viral or like it's, well, LANDMVRKS. Where the marks, yeah.
I'm an artist.
What does that mean?
That means that if you're just shouting out letters at me, I'm not going to try to put it together in the form of a word or a sentence. I'm just going to agree with the fact you know letters.
Hopefully.
It sounded pretty legit.
French. They're a French metalcore band.
Okay, so...
Yeah, he came out just screaming French. I was like... Oh. Yeah. Less Ratatouille, more Jean-Claude.
Oh.
Wait, no, Jean-Claude.
That's French, right?
Is Jean-Claude French or Muscles from Brussels? Is he Austrian? Jean-Claude is French as fuck, right?
I don't know. Where's Brussels?
Germany.
Then he's probably that.
But is he the Muscles from Brussels?
I don't fucking know, man.
You're an 80s baby, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't fucking know?
Was he in WWE?
What the fuck? Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Bloodsport, dude.
Yeah, you said Jean. I thought you were talking about something.
That's his French or Brussels. That's how you say it. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's offensive. We're going to get canceled for that.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah, Double Impact. We got Bloodsport.
Yeah. I know who he is.
Oh, I thought you were still confused.
No. I didn't know he was known as the Muscles from Brussels.
I think.
I mean, if that were me, which it's not, I wouldn't own that.
You're the.
There's a good ring to it. Now, I mean, when you say it a bunch of times,
you're the jabroni from Des Moines.
What?
I don't know. I'm not really good at rhyming. That's why I was never a rapper. Did not
go with AI.
Can we cut that, Steve? Cut.
No, we're keeping it. Everything goes.
Belgian. Okay. He's Belgian. Brussels is in Belgium.
Okay.
I was way off.
That makes sense. Okay, so the stone cold facts are the fact that I think social media is probably the dumbest thing in the world, and it was completely put out there to propagate and to make people lose parts of their soul with every doom scroll they went down, and I no longer want to be a part of it. I look at social media like that scene in Clockwork Orange where they just peel his fucking eyes open and force feed him information and visuals until he eventually cracks, and now people are voluntarily doing it, and at least here, people get the opportunity to have a pass or fail of whether or not this information seems valuable to them, or if it keeps them around long enough to see how dumb it can get, or maybe they understand the fact that they need to surround themselves with people who actually partly give a fuck and also give very little fucks, and so happen to find a really good balance between the two.
Well, dude, fucking funny story, and I'll leave her name out of it so I don't embarrass her, although she fessed up to it, but we have like a family group text going on. There's like 9 of us in there. And, we're big into the Angels numbers, and the whole 444 thing is kind of like Angela and Christina's dad's. Like ever since he's passed away, we see the numerous numbers. And she put this thing in where February of this year, it was like there's 4 Mondays, 4 Tuesdays, 4 Wednesdays, 4 Thursdays, 4 Fridays, 4 Saturdays, 4 Sundays. Mm-hmm. She goes, this only happens every 893 years. She puts the meme in there from the internet. It was the Instagram post. And Angela's like, man, did you see that post? That's so cool. And I'm like, is that real? So I went back to my calendar. I got back, and come to find out it happened in 2015. And so I said, this is what fucking is wrong with the internet. I literally was going to make a reel of this yesterday. It's the old game of phone tag or phone, mm-hmm. whatever it was back in the day. When you tell one person and it goes down the line of 10 people, and by the time it gets to the 12th person, the message is completely fucked. It has nothing to do with what the first person said. And really, dude, that's like what's wrong with the internet right now is there's a meme made or an AI graphic or video of somebody stating something about somebody else or something they did wrong or like the fake news. And then Susan sends that to her girlfriend. And then her girlfriend sends it to her husband. And then the husband sends it to his buddy. And it keeps getting passed along of dog shit fucking fake news because nobody actually checks the facts. Nobody actually goes, that wasn't said. That's not a real photo. That's fucking AI. Like you called me out on the metallic black paint. I was like, no, that's real. And you're like, bro, it says Sora. And I'm like, motherfucker. I didn't check that photo before I sent it. But that's what is wrong with the world right now is people just don't want to fact check. They don't want to look into the details. They don't want to do anything other than get their entertainment out of it and pass the message on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's all by design when things become so immediate. When you look at the next thing to be enraged about, the next thing to rally behind, the next thing to believe, it's all you tend to give all of your fucking power away to social media, which then makes you not trust anything.
Yeah.
And so why do social media? And I get it from like a friend to friend. It is really good for socializing, but there's 2 different ends of it. All right, what's going on, guys? I wanted to cut in on this video really quick to extend the offer for you to come in and work with the Force of Focus in a much more community-based level. Now, all of the information that I provide here is extremely valuable and important for you to know about the industry that you're in, but being able to work in a room full of artists who are all not only applying the systems, but keeping each other accountable changes the entire trajectory of your success and of your scalability. So if this is something you're interested in, we're going to attach the link down below in the description. Let us know if you have any questions. Obviously, like, comment, subscribe, but make sure that you are willing to roll the dice. You have to be able to get up and get out. You have to be able to play the game, not just ride the bench. And this is exactly where you can do that. It's not your run-of-the-mill program. This is community approach. This is how we work together and we navigate the sea of uncertainty in this creative career path. I cannot wait to see you in there with us. There's social media where friends will put up a picture, they'll get 3 or 4 likes from another friend, they'll see each other on the weekends, or maybe it's a family member they only get to see once a year. Then there's marketing media, which is if you run a business, if you're trying to sell a product, that's all it is. And then when you do ad spend, it's forcing you into the discomfort of used car salesmanship into the social media end of things, and everything is cringy to everybody. So the only people who actually go on social media and like utilize it are the people who are doom scrolling, the people who have nothing to do with their time. They're not there to learn. They're not there to be educated. They're there to be quickly entertained, quickly triggered, and quickly to move on because they want to create more of a distrust in the things that they've already decided they don't like.
Yeah.
I don't want to partake in that. I unsubscribe to that methodology. How much money have we spent, or anybody out there spent, on shitty mentors, shitty coaches, downloaded the shitty PDF knowing it never did anything long term, if at all?
Correct.
And that's the problem. I was doing my numbers this year for my taxes, and then I looked at my numbers from the year before. I spent so much money on mentorship and coaches, some of which did really well, but none of it had anything to do with my business.
Yeah.
None of the people I hired for social media about like increase or social media virality or whatever, none of it did anything. The only people who helped me get to where I wanted to go were the people who kept forcing me to do personal development and then learn how to understand the person I used to be is what created the person I am today. So the person that I evolve into today is the only person who's going to be able to build the business I dream of in the future.
Yeah.
It's always a self-evolution. It has to be.
Yeah.
And social media is not going to do it.
No, and I agree, dude. And it's crazy, man. Yesterday, do you know Dustin Lash?
I don't know.
You may, but he put out a post, and I saw it actually on Facebook, and he made a fake account a while ago, and he did everything of like the hooks and the viral stuff and all the shit. Millions of views. He went viral pretty fucking quick. I'm talking like within weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And he did this reel stating, he goes, like, hey, I got this account. It did this many views. He was showing all the data and the analytics, and he goes, but guess how much money I made off of that fucking page in the last however long? He goes, 0.
Yeah.
I made $0 off of all these views, off these new followers, off all these likes. And he made a really good point. It's exactly what we talk about. These people chasing viral hooks and trends and the lead magnets and the free PDFs and the download my ebooks and all the fucking bullshit tactics that are out there, man. But ain't nobody making money off of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and when you think about it, it's never one size fits all. It's right place, right time, right avatar, right level of trust. You find the right people in the wrong place. I just saw a post today. Somebody put up, he's like, this is the piece of content that made me 6 figures. Bullshit.
Yep.
Bullshit.
Yep.
Because I know you, and I know you're full of shit, and that is really going to capture a lot of attention, but bullshit.
Bullshit.
And that was one of the things when you and I were talking earlier, well, I was like, fuck all of it.
Yeah.
Fuck it all. I do not want to be categorized because people don't have the opportunity to trust us. They don't have the opportunity to get to know us. They just see us as another piece of content they either agree with, disagree with, don't care. Because if you can't trust somebody, why the fuck would you give them the time of day anyway? When I'm somewhere, I don't trust people. Why the fuck would I expect people to? Because I'm some social media jabroni.
Yeah. And that's made him in person.
Yeah.
that's not screens away, miles apart, fucking,
Yeah. Times were different, and I will give it to that. And I think everybody's trying to find the pathway back to how social media was between 2019 and 2022.
Yeah.
Because then people were so wrapped up in being able to have the convenience of interacting with one another coming out of the pandemic. And that's really when coaching and mentoring really ramped up because, people wanted to invest in themselves. They had free government money and.
Well, we were stuck at home. Yeah, I know no choice but to stare at the Zoom screen all day.
Yeah.
Couldn't go out unless it was to get toilet paper.
Yep. And the only thing they could see was people out still living their lives, having the things, doing the stuff.
I mean, if you think about it, and it's sad to say because I was in the space, but it is what it is. The times are coming to an end. And there's just more and more, and I don't use the word saturated, but there's just too many free resources now. And we're turning into a live shop world.
Yeah.
The social media platforms are going to be used strictly for live shopping. It's going to be QVC across this motherfucker, and it already is. That's why there's so many ads. That's why there's so much ad spend. That's why there's so much clickbait. That's why there's so many lead magnets. But everything from TikTok is now becoming into Instagram because they're getting a hold of it. And we're slowly starting to see people now. Before, you couldn't use the platform, but now these people are basically promoting TikTok on Instagram, and they're still blowing up. There is no more watermarks, or you're not supposed to promote this other brand with this. You know what I mean? It doesn't fucking matter anymore. It's just whoever's paying the fucking money.
Well, there's a very distinct reason why, like, marketing agencies are starting to find their thumbs dead in their asses, because Meta is building out and beta testing their new AI that goes into Meta Business Suites. They're going to become the new marketing agency who only knows the pathway forward, because no one else is going to understand how it all works. And they're going to continuously change it enough so they're the only one who can truly market. So if they make it easy on you to just say, here's my stuff, and then based on the price point and how many different hooks and how many different like the value content and how many call to actions, mix and match all of them, they'll find the one that works the best, and then hopefully it's a decent product. Now, my thing is, if you're a fitness coach, or if you're a tattoo artist, or even if you're a musician, eventually you're going to have to see people in person. You know what I mean? Like, and how much time do you want to wrap up into finding the perfect hook and not just get better at the shit you do and become a really good people person?
Yeah.
You know, that's where the brick and mortar end of things comes. I'm so disattached from the hustle and the grind of clickbait bullshit or even rage bait. And I like one promise I will make by doing this. I'm never going to rage bait anybody. I may just accidentally piss you off and that becomes a you problem. However, that's my personality. That's who I am. On Instagram, I never had the opportunity to be genuine and authentic because I've got a 45-second time window to just speed talk things I know a lot about, you know, and that takes so much of the humanization out of it.
Yeah.
And here we get a rip, bro.
Here we get a rip, bro. Well, it even goes back to what you were just saying. It's like, the marketing agencies, because everything's becoming real. I told that story about Chili's and using content creators to basically cut their fucking marketing budget in half. And now I'm starting to see Applebee's do it. Now, every one of these mainstream platforms or mainstream businesses are using content creators with no hyper edits, no catchy ads, it's literally people with their phones in real life shooting their fucking commercials. Yep. And I think it's brilliant. But it's sad for the marketing agencies, but jump on it.
Well, I mean, the thing is, marketing agencies most of the time don't know what they're doing in every niche. They know what they're doing in the niche they started in, and they, no different than any other consultant, coach, or mentor, decided to start infiltrating other industries because they saw that's where the money was moving. So they thought this would work here, and it just doesn't. No. There's a way to market to tattoo clients. There has to be more of a humanized approach because you're putting something on someone's body that probably tells a really in-depth part of their story. Now, there's not always a story, but to me, there should be. The art that I produce comes with the need to understand an individual. I can't get to know somebody through the DMs that intently. I just can't.
Yeah.
So I will meet people in person. I'll do Zoom calls and all that shit. And I will physically interview them. And that's why I stay booked up. Because I'm not doing you want to get tattooed, or would you like a piece of flash that I drew? No, I get to know a fucking person. If it takes me 6 months to close a quality client and I can convert that into a large scale piece that both of us are proud of, and the byproduct is revenue generation that's going to provide for my family and my businesses, that 6 months was worth it. But everybody, they just want that immediate, oh, you don't want to get tattooed today? Well, let me know when you're interested. And then they forget about that person altogether. That's not business.
Well, and that's why I loved hearing Raf's story about you on the webinars. Raf said it straight up. He's like, I chose Mikey because of his branding, because of his presence, because the way he showed up online, the way his content was put out there, the way he put himself out there. That's the individual I wanted to tattoo me. Worked out in your favor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a pretty cool life to live.
No, absolutely. And I think that paints the picture of why social media sucks. It's convinced everybody that you need to have you need to have the hook, the virality, and all that to get clients. All that is immediate gratification. How long did the attention is the new form of currency really last? Because it's not. Like you said, the guy got 1 million views. Did that attention generate revenue? Fucking zero. No. Attention is the newest form of validation.
100%.
But if you don't know what to do with that attention, or if you're not giving attention back, your dick's in the dirt. And that's why everybody's panicked. It's because they don't know how to just be people. They've lost their human element. They've lost their individuality.
See, and I know plenty of people who have gotten really big in this industry and on these platforms by just doing exactly what we're saying. Gabe No Victim. I'm going to shout him out. He's one of the few. Always stay true. You go to his page, you're not going to see a single fucking funny hook. You're not going to see a single viral trending anything. You know, and we always talk shit about the Lambo life, but man, that kid grinded. I mean, that dude has worked his ass off since the day I met him 2 years ago and working with him. But I sit back and I watch him, man, and he's one of the few that I believe those numbers. I believe what he's doing is very accurate, and he has created a cult fan base around his name.
It was right place, right time, right intent, and he didn't waver on who he was through it. The problem is a lot of people inevitably they have to chase the same amount of stuff. And they think they're like by changing this, by evolving that, by rebranding these things. And I mean, the one thing I've always known, because I've known the dude in passing, we worked with him in the other agency a little bit, and he's always been that same dude. Most of his good content.
And that's just it. I got to work with him behind the scenes diligently on his brand, his logos, his ads, and all the things we helped him with. But from the first call I had with that dude, he never has come off character. He's never come off brand. If anything, he's got a shit ton more tattoos. He fucking tattooed his jawline. You know what I mean? But like, still keeps it real. Yep. Still keeps it real to this day. And he never followed the hooks. He never did it the other people's way. He always went against authority when it came to that shit. And, you know,
but it is still rare. That is the 1 in 1,000. You know what I mean?
It is.
And I don't believe it's the person that makes themselves successful. It's the consistency in action that always helps produce the outcome of that success. And I think he knows that to be true. You know, like,
and he's not scared to show the shit talkers. He'll call motherfuckers out. I mean, the guy probably gets just as much shit talking on him than he does leads in a day. And he's perfectly fine. He's laughing all the way to the bank, but he's staying true to himself.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, there's something so relieving to know that you can talk as much shit as you want to and be fine. Where most people in the world we live in, they pull punches, they water it down, they dilute their personality because they want to be able to talk to everybody. You know, I mean, one thing that I really enjoy is not talking to a lot of people, but I do have conversations with those who understand my humor, who also understand my intensity. I can't work well with somebody who I have to dilute who I am to be able to please, you know? And what good is that? If, say, for instance, you were a client that came into the Force of Focus. If I had to deplete the person I was to make you feel better, that is literally the opposite of what my job is. Do you think you would get the best result by me trying to change who I was and what it was it took to get to where I was?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what we were talking about on our last meeting Tuesday night when I was talking to the class about people pleasing.
Yeah.
About giving your energy to the wrong person, where it's like somebody's trying to show you or talk to you about something and then you just give in. You listen to the 5 minutes, and all of a sudden you wasted 15 fucking minutes of your day hearing a bunch of shit instead of just going, hey, look, I'm really not interested, and you move on.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that.
Well,
it's easy as that.
What are we doing?
Skipping to the next song.
Oh, you got some jams going back there?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I can't do the distraction. And my TV is real bright.
It's not loud. No, I just have it barely on so I can just keep up with this is how I keep up with my music for the day.
Yeah.
Really good music out.
I've gotten worse and worse. I've not only gone to the I just don't understand kids' music today, but I also am only really listening to 80s montage playlists. And it's really set a tone for how I'm showing up on my day-to-day.
Is it do you start with Panama?
Most of the time. That or Jump.
Jump would have to be like number 9.
Kickstart My Heart's a real good one, too.
Kickstart's a good number 2. Because right when you feel like you hit Panama and you're in that mood, it's like, and it's like, oh my God, it's doing it again. It's like a second intro. It's like a second intro.
Most playlists, they have to end with Home Sweet Home, though.
It depends on the mood. For me, it'd be November Rain.
That's like my closing time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when they play that song at the bar, you gotta get to the nearest bodega to get yourself something to take home. Like, Home Sweet Home is my that.
You know, it's funny on my morning walks. The thing that's been pumping me up, I'll go through my quotes after I do my my chapter in my book, and I go to find my quote that, you know, kind of how I was feeling and set the tone for the day. And I've been typing in the old Instagram search, lowrider oldies.
Ooh, what do you
talk
come up
about
with there?
Mood changer, bro. Talk about getting you just fucking elbows up. You know, like no.
I live in Iowa.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. All right, so for Southern California folks, but dude, type in like lowrider oldies or like just that old. What's that called? Not bop. I can't think of a band right now, but talk about like some good stuff of that, like 1950s, just real good oldies music. Puts me in a great mood, man.
Yeah. Have you noticed on my page I'm going more classic traditional with some of my imagery? So I've been AIing like a picture of like I had Elvis holding his inmate number, but it just said Michael Getz Creations Precision and Execution.
Yeah.
Like I'm going that like old Frank Sinatra. I made the Hollywood sign just say MG Creations. And I love that vibe because when I tattoo, I can do a lot of the 80s. Like, and I really do. I mean, it's good for the clients. Most of them can get behind it. Most of them know the songs. But when I'm doing realism, I'll listen to like Frank Sinatra or fuck. I forgot the guy's name, but it popped up today. Or some classical. There's a group called the Piano Guys that I'll rock because they play a lot of modern hits, but like in a really good classical form. Yeah, and it's weird to people, but it sets a tone. It helps me stay focused, and that's kind of my vibe. You know, like I do have a more luxury based
Bobby Darin. He's that for. I don't know if that's who you're talking about.
Nope, the guy that sings Lady. Nope, she's a lady. Whoa, she's a lady. Talking about my little lady. That one.
Wait. Whoa. That's not Diamond, that's when you told us on the beat.
Close.
Tom Jones.
But how did I not know one of the like most generic names? She's the kind that like to flaunt and take the bill. But she always goes someplace. She's got style, she's got grace.
What a pimp. What a ladies' man pimp.
Yeah.
She's a lady. Whoa, she's a lady. Talking about that little lady. And the lady is mine. Some soul. White man with a soul.
Yeah, dude. I mean, getting tattooed to that shit or doing tattoos to that shit will change the entire fucking ecosystem.
If somebody's got the evil attitude while listening to that in the background, they just get slapped. Just open palm, just like you're talking to Pono, the Hawaiian assassin.
Yeah.
Slap. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
What are Pono's doing?
You know, I don't do my studio any favors because I'm high energy.
Oh, it's with Tom Jones on. You gotta be.
Yeah, I set the tone.
I went to these tattoo shops where it's just like sunny day real estate in the promise ring. I'm like, Jesus, cut my throat now. There's a time and place for that bullshit.
Yeah. Well, dude. I mean, the one thing I've never understood, and I've kind of Stockholm syndrome myself into like some folk music. Not a lot of country, but country in a tattoo shop. It really just makes you want to drink domestic beer, get a shittier pickup truck, and maybe kick a dog. Like I can't fucking do it, and I don't understand it. I understand there's a time and a place for it, but I'm sure
if you're in Texas or like South Oklahoma, like it's mandatory.
Even so, like there's better stuff that can set a tone. I don't want somebody sitting in my chair, like thinking about their ex that banged their brother, not like, your brother, but her own brother.
So what are we doing today? I want a Peterbilt front end with 2 American flags and an American eagle coming down and swooping up the diesel truck. And then John Deere signature.
That's a good idea. I'm doing that.
I might get that on my back.
That's a back piece for sure. There's a lot of fucking content. You gotta spell
Peterbilt wrong. It's got to be like Peter with a D or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Peter. Yeah. Peterbilt.
That's American engine right there, boy.
That's right. Yep.
And then you got to seek like a Copenhagen jar.
Yeah, little kind of long cut.
Maybe like a can of Keystone, like within the American flag in the blue.
Yeah. I've got I think it's an 8x12 or a 15x10 American flag in my station because we have 17-foot walls. This thing is big. Every time I look at it, I immediately want to go with the skullet, the trucker hat, and a Milwaukee's best in my hand. Maybe some pit vipers. America. But okay, so we're pulling out of the Force of Focus Instagram. It's still going to be in existence, but it's just going to be a hub for clips for the most part. I might do a little talking head because I don't know how to shut the fuck up. But predominantly, that's going to be the intent. The reason being is because we will no longer subscribe to the propaganda, to the soft dick energy, to the complaints, to the opinions, or to the excuses of modern society of why they can't just be quality humans. We intend to use this page to actually be people, talk about our real lives, the madness, the mayhem, and also all of the fucking really cool shit that we've been given the opportunity to do because we kept ourselves on track. Fell off quite a few times also. Yeah. But to be able to have that full room full of people who can really relate to who it is we are without us having to be the fabricated social media nonsense is just going to give us the opportunity to interact, to have good conversations, to bring other people in. It's the lives that I'm excited for.
Yeah, the lives are cool. If we get some interaction, if not, they're going to suck really bad.
I mean, like, and which is fine, but I think when we start doing YouTube lives and we can bring like Brandon or Tim or anybody in, and it's just us sitting here shooting the shit as dudes, like I said, like sitting down with a bunch of homies talking about goals, talking about struggles, but not the problem, coming to solutions.
Yeah.
And really painting the picture of what's possible coming from dudes who have lived really fucking messy ass lives and still managed to not only survive, but thrive through it all and make it realistic and make it understood that it's not because of who we are. It's because of what we were willing to do and how far we were willing to go without giving up.
And still trying. Still going.
And still trying. You never fucking stop.
I'm saying still trying new things. Still coming out of our comfort zone. Living our life to the fullest. Ripping tours. Tattoo conventions. Fucking metal shows, everything.
Yeah. And I mean, we can actually announce a little easier as the subscribers build when the still ripping tours are going to happen. Because
you know what I'm picturing right now, Mike?
What are you picturing?
I've got like Knotfest. I've got Knotfest Australia. What band is this performing? I've got it performing. What if it was like still ripping tour? Like we just demolish Knotfest, and it's just still ripping tour. Yep. We just get them all bleeding through. Asley dying. They're all there.
I don't think it would be out of reach for us to be able to do live podcasts at larger music festivals, because you can use your lapel mics with the little fluffy cat toy that they put on the end of it to take out the wind.
Well, I think we'd bust headphones at those.
Whatever.
We'll have a spot. We'd have to definitely invest in like headphones and then the microphone and then it'd be one of the mics.
We'll just have to get a sponsor that does mics. We'll just talk to DJI or Shure or something.
Yep. I'm done with that. Yeah, I think headphones would be the best unless we get the noise cut off. I don't know. Either way, we'll figure it out. We'll find out how eventually.
Yeah. Well, because we're already going to start doing it at tattoo conventions, and that's easy. That's accessible. I already sponsor them, you know. But if we can start doing music festivals and bring like all of the cultures into one, when it's like tattoo culture is obviously a huge component to music culture and vice versa. But then there's the fitness element that we always talk about, like the same mindset that goes into starting a band, seeing a band all the way through, scaling a band into record labels, getting signed, publication, all that. It takes the same energy that building a physique of your dreams does most of the time, you know, otherwise it's a flash in the pan and that sucks.
Yeah.
But tattooing is no different. Those three things really take the same kind of obsession and madness. And that's why I think having those conversations and bringing those three industries together on these conversations is a really cool fucking take on it, because you need all of it. You need madness. You need intensity. You need discipline. You need certainty for all of them.
I agree, Michael.
So that's what we're fucking doing, you shit dick jabronis. I'm so glad I can say. Can I say stuff like that on YouTube, or am I throttled in what I can say here too?
We'll find out.
I guess we will.